Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a fairy makeup using the Lord of the Rings X GLAMLITE palette because it is so pretty and I use it quite often because I think it looks very pretty. So I'm gonna try and do that. First I'm gonna apply face primer, foundation, concealer and powder off camera and I'll be right back. I've done my brows. I also did some liquid blush because I want some blush underneath the designs. So first I'm gonna do the eyelids. So I'm first gonna go in with Even Star, which is this very gorgeous purple. I'm gonna go in the inner corner like this and on the outer corner like this. And then I'm also gonna link that to the lower lash line like I always do, because this opens my eyes. So I'm kind of making a wing, starting from the bottom lash line to the brow, and then connecting that to the other purple I put in the inner corner. I'm really dragging it up to my brow because I think this expands my eyes, because since I have small lids, when I put eyeshadow all the way to my brows, it makes my makeup first of all, you can see it with my eye open. And I'm really going towards the temples to widen the look. Now I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush in the shade Gandalf, which is mouse gray right here, to deepen the crease. So I'm gonna go using the same placement. I'm just gonna expand less my shade. Now I'm going to take an even smaller but more precise brush and I'm going to go in the black, which is the Sauron, and again intensify this color again. I'm kind of going for a dark fairy kind of look, so I'm just putting the color where I want it. The black is very intense. And I'm going to go in with my first shade, which is the Even Star, and then just blend all that black. What I love about these GLAMLITE shadows is that even though I just put a black, it was super intense, but I can go in to take a pastel color to blend it, and they work together really well. Like I can put a lighter color on top of a dark color and you can see it. So I think that's really great, because you can really work with these shadows in the order that you want. And if you mess up, you can take a light shadow again and blend it. And so I think that's really cool. Because sometimes when you do a look, you don't really know where you're going. And so it's nice that you have such high quality shadows that you can know you can go back and forth in the light, the dark. I think that's great. Now what I want to do, I'm not going to erase the matte shadows that I did. I just want to apply shimmers on top because a fairy is sparkling. So I'm going to go ahead and use different flat brushes for different shades. So I'm going to go ahead and use Arwen, which is kind of duochrome. It's blue and purple at the same time. Second quarter of my eye, so in the center. So you can see how the shadow is packed on the brush. That is amazing. And then I'm just gonna put that down. See, with no extra base on, just see how this sticks. It's amazing. Like, just wow. See, this is what we want. Why am I using a flat fluffy brush is that when I put it down, it automatically kind of blends the edges to give it a blended look. I don't have to put it down with a flat brush and then blend it in. So that's why I love to use fluffy brushes to apply my shadows. And then for the outer corner, I think I'm gonna use Lothorian, which is a blue right here. I don't want it to cover the black, and since these shadows are so pigmented, I don't want the blue to hide the black, so I just put a little bit just to have the reflects. And then I'm also gonna drag it down to my lower lash line and then blend it in the R1 shade. But I'm really putting it all over the blue and the purple. Ah, c'est tellement beau! Putain. And for the inner corner, I'm gonna use Galadriel, which is a white shade, which is very light, to do the inside third of my eye. And also in the inner corner. Okay, now we're gonna do the fairy wings. So I want to do one up and one down. So as always, when I do these makeups, I use a tiny flat brush from Morphe to trace the shape. So I'm gonna go in with Gandalf, the gray, to outline my wing shapes. I like to trace my shapes with eyeshadow before liner so that if I make a mistake, it's easier for me to remove and do it again, rather than with the liner where once you put it on, it's kind of final. Okay, now that the basic shape is down, I'm gonna go ahead and use the ColourPop liquid liner in blue. The shade is Crazy. I don't want to use black because my look is kind of purple blue. So I'm gonna trace those same lines but with the liner, and then we're gonna add the shimmers. It's kind of a dark blue, so I think it'll go perfect with the look. And now we stop breathing. Okay, now we're gonna let this dry for a little bit because I need to breathe, otherwise. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a super fluffy brush and I'm gonna go into Evanstar again and just rub this all over the wings to soften the edges of my wings. Now I'm gonna take a small fluffy brush, go mix Evanstar with Gandalf, so the purple and the gray, and I'm just gonna try to define, kind of outline better the blue. Okay, that did nothing. So now what I want to do is take a very small brush like this. I take Lothorian, which is the bright blue pigments, and just go inside the lines of the wings. It doesn't matter if I go over the line because I want this kind of blurred effect. Now I'm gonna go in Arwen, which is the prettiest shade in the palette in my mind. It's the purple blue duochrome shadow. So right now I'm just putting the shimmers down. I'm gonna blend them later on. And then again going into Galadriel for the end of the wing and possibly the outline. Just a little bit of Lothorian and try to blend it into the purple like this. So gently drag it on the purple to just kind of blend the shimmers together, see? And now I'm gonna take a big brush again and I'm going Galadriel and then I'm gonna outline all of it. So the point is that it's subtle, see, like this. Now I want to add some accents of white. So as always, I'll be using the SUVA Beauty Hydra liner with my favorite liner brush. Now that the white is dry, I'm gonna go in Galadriel once again and just put it all over the white. I'm quickly gonna do mascara. Okay, so now for lips, I'm going to be using the GLAMLITE Rivendell lip kit. So there's the pencil, which is very dark. What I want to do is I want an ombre kind of lips. So I'm just going to put that in the inside of my lips and then blend it out towards the outside of the lip. And then I'm going to take a flat brush and just blend the pencil in. I really want a blurred out effect, so it doesn't matter if it goes a bit outside. Now I'm going to apply the gloss, which is no glitter, and then I'll put Arwen. And that's it, the look is complete. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video of me using the Lord of the Rings GLAMLITE palette to do a fairy look on my eyes. I hope you really enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun for me to film this today. Please let me know down in the comments if you like this look. If you want to see me do anything else on my channel, please let me know. And I'm glad you stayed and watched. So have a good day and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.